This episode is sponsored by SimpliSafe, the easy to set up, reliable home security system. SimpliSafe also has a 24/7 home monitoring for a monthly cost of less than $1 per day. There's no safe like SimpliSafe. Save up to 40% on your SimpliSafe security system during the biggest sale of the year. Visit simplisafe.com/babish to customize yours.
最後は俺だな。これは黄金チャーハン。チャーハンってのはこれでいいんだよ。カンカンに焼いたフライパンで油を熱し、溶き卵と米をスピーディーに投入。お玉で切りながら軽く鍋を振る。それだけ。
Hello there, welcome back to another episode of Anime with Alvin. Today, I'll be making the golden fried rice from one of my personal favorite anime, Kaguya-Sama, Love is War. Even though this recipe is quite simple on the surface, the techniques required make it more complex than it seems. And because of that, I'm going to take this opportunity to show you all 3 variations. I'll start with the show accurate version. I have 3 eggs and I'm just going to simply crack them in a bowl and beat them up like normal. Fun fact, I always use chopsticks to beat my eggs. I don't know if it's better than using a fork, but that's how I was raised. Now comes the rice. What you see here is a tray of rice that's been dehydrated overnight in the fridge after being cooked. Here's what we did the day before. In this case, I'm doing it with takeout cooked rice, because that's what we had for lunch. The rice comes out onto a sheet tray lined with parchment paper and gets smushed out and separated into as many singular grains as possible. And this is the rice you get. A wise chef once told me that in making great fried rice, every single grain of rice should be separate so that it can be evenly coated and cooked with the oil, the seasonings, and get all that flavor. On to our cooking apparatus. Oh hey, it's Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. This is our wok setup. It's powered by gas, and it's essentially cooking on top of a jet engine. I'm heating roughly 4 tablespoons of neutral oil until it's smoking, dumping in our 3 beaten eggs, followed by 2 cups of our leftover rice. As per the show, it's important to constantly stir and flip. The difficult part about this is heat management and movement. Essentially, if you don't move quick enough and you don't manage your fire enough, you're gonna burn. I can't even take my hands off this to grab seasoning, so Rachel over here is helping me season with salt. But as the rice and the eggs get tossed and turned and beaten up in the wok, something magical happens. The wok itself almost breathes its own flavor into the rice, a smoky, charred, and separate flavor for each grain of rice coated with the egg. While this cools down just a little bit, I'm going to show you guys 2 more versions. Hey, stop. Bad egg. For the second version, I'm starting by separating 4 yolks from their white friends. Am I allowed to say that? Oh, looks like this yolk wanted to join its buddies in the pool. Can't have that happening. Once the yolks and whites are fully separated, we're going to take a moment and appreciate this really cool shot. Hey, get out of my shot, B. And now we begin. Taking my chopsticks again, I'm going to satisfyingly pop and poke each of these egg yolks and mix it into 2 cups of our leftover rice. And back to the wok we go. Again, heating up 4 tablespoons of oil, but this time just cooking the egg white. Once the egg white goes in, notice that I'm not stirring it right away. That causes a lot of sticking, so I'm trying to let this form into almost a fully cooked egg white patty and then breaking it up into shards. Once I see a lot of brown crispy edge happening, then I'm going to dump in that yellow rice that absorbed all those egg yolks. This time I'm also changing up the seasoning. I like to use a 2-to-1-to-1 ratio of salt to sugar to MSG. A wise chef once taught me that each grain of rice should be treated like cooking a steak. If you kiss every side with the right amount of heat, it'll be crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. And this is the second version, with crispy egg white shards studded throughout an egg yolk absorbed rice. And while this one cools, I'm going to do one more version. This is probably breaking the rules, but I'm going to throw in scallions in this one. And besides, rules are more fun when they're broken. I'm separating 4 scallions into the whites and the greens and thinly slicing each one. More on that later. Then I'm cracking and beating up 4 eggs into a bowl, 1 egg for each scallion. Now you might be thinking, that's a lot of oil for fried rice. And you would be right, because this is actually to fry eggs. There's a chef named Wangang who has a really cool YouTube channel, and one of his YouTube videos really fascinated me, where he basically just deep fries a constant stream of eggs, resulting in a really cool texture when it comes to the shards. I set my oil temperature to around 275, which honestly is a little low. As you can see, it's not really frying or puffing up and it's not looking too good, so I'm going to take this out and start again. This time bumping up the heat to around 350 or so. Swirling it around like this not only prevents the eggs from clumping, but also helps shards form. Once all the egg is in and is puffed up and nice and crispy, I'm going to take them out and drain them in a sieve. I'm going to try to press and squeeze as much oil out of this egg as possible because I don't want it to be super greasy. In a wok that has barely been coated with oil, I'm first cooking the scallion whites with the egg shards. The scallion whites have a lot of sharp flavor that becomes really aromatic when cooked for quite some time, but the greens can wilt easily, so I don't like to throw those in first. Once everybody smells and looks pretty good, I'm dumping in 2 cups of our leftover rice. Seasonings are the same, 2 to 1 to 1 salt, sugar, MSG. Once each grain of rice has been coated in all the flavor that it can, I'm finally tossing in the scallion greens. These go in for just a few seconds, just to break the rawness of them, if you will. After more flips in this wok than I can count, I'm gonna flip this rice into a ladle and plate up. And when all said and done, this is the third and final version of our golden fried rice, made with Chef Wang Gang's egg threading technique as well as scallions. And now the fun part, eating. On your left is the first version, the show-accurate golden fried rice. In the middle, we have the separated egg yolk and egg white fried rice. And finally, Wang Gang's egg thread and scallion fried rice. Starting with the show-accurate rice. Simple, good, delicious, egg fried rice in a simple but delicious form. Now, the middle one. This one's a little interesting. The egg yolk flavor comes in pretty strong in this one, and the egg white shards are a nice little contrast in texture. The color is a deeper yellow, studded with little bits of brown, but personally, I'm not a super big fan of this strong egg yolk flavor when it hits the heat. And finally, the rule breaker, made with the technique of frying a stream of eggs in hot oil to create threads, along with scallions. This is hands down my favorite one, but I think most of that actually has to do with the scallion. It's so simple, but it adds so much flavor to something as fragrant as fried rice. So, my winner goes to the rule breaker, followed by the show accurate version, and finally the egg yolk and egg white separated version. And it is more fun when you have others in the studio to enjoy it with. So everybody, please come help me eat. Fried rice is one of my personal favorite things to make for others. The technique is satisfying and complex at the same time to pull off. And the best part is, no matter who you're with, they're always gonna like fried rice. Thanks again to Simply Safe for sponsoring this video. Setting up your system is so easy, and it's delivered straight to your door, no service appointment required. There's also no long-term contracts, so you can start and stop at any time with no hidden fees. Protect your home while you travel and as you prepare for the chaos of the holiday season. Save up to 40% on your Simply Safe system during their biggest sale of the year. Visit simplysafe.com/babish to get yours.